All right, hey, PSS After Hours coming at you for our very first podcast. I'm pretty excited about this, guys. This is LTG coming at you with Rod and with Zeke. So just so everybody knows, this is going to be a podcast where we talk about all things paranormal. I am kind of the skeptic and the quote-unquote non-believer in this whole thing. Rod is a little bit kind of more middle ground. And Zeke, kind of where do you sit on the whole thing?
I don't know. I'd like to say that it's middle ground because I lean both ways. Right. I just try to look at everything.
We knew that.
Logical.
Yeah, right. So
both ways in this topic.
Let's introduce ourselves really quick because this is going to be the first one that actually comes out is our very first podcast. So let me introduce myself to everybody out there. So I'm Garrett. I was a police officer for 23 years. I was on a state SWAT team with my main man, Brad, who's behind the camera doing his stuff, who has made all of this possible for us. Mm-hmm. We were on the state SWAT team together for 16 years. He saved my life more than I can count, and so I'm eternally grateful for him. He's walking away just getting all shy right now. But he knows it's the truth.
He started tearing up.
But anyway, we were on motors together. Brad's one of the best motor riders I've ever been with in my entire life. We could go on for hours and hours about motor stories. But I had done a whole bunch of stuff. And so that's kind of my background, but let's leave it right there for right now. Rod, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, what's up, people? My name is Rod or Rodrigo. You can call me Rod because my name is too long. I work security at the Gateway, and I started here as a producer / technician and stuff, and now I'm sitting here as the co-host.
Yeah, so Rod does all the kind of the social media stuff for us. I was banned from it about the first day that we got into it because I started.
Someone read all the comments.
Yeah, I started,
somebody had to sit down and read the comments.
I started getting into it with people, and so I don't know. Anyway, so Rod's doing quite a bit, and then introduce Zeke to us as well.
So then later on, as weeks went by, since we changed personnel and stuff like that, because it was just you and I recording, I was like, why not bring somebody else? Somebody who's got stories too, who works at the Gateway as well. He's my friend, and I was like, might as well introduce him to LT. So here's Zeke for you guys.
What's up? Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm Big Boy's boss over here. So, I get to boss him around all day.
More like the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I am. I want to say that I'm the producer, so I guess I'm the producer here as the personnel. I work at the Gateway as well. It's pretty interesting, I should say. We've had some fun experiences.
Yes, we have. Every day something new.
It's true. We get all these some of the ghost stories that we've had, some of the ghost experiences we've had, not to mention all the actual real life people experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so since this is going to be the first one that we're going to be launching, as far as on YouTube and our podcast, I'm going to kind of tell the story of how this whole thing came about.
Go ahead.
You guys good with that?
Go ahead.
All right.
You're the boss.
So Brad's the boss, man. Look at everything around us, man. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when we came in here today and Brad's talking about everything, I was like, bro, he's like full in with what we're doing.
Yeah, he is.
Like, do you guys realize that? I mean, seriously, do you realize
today,
what's
for
going
sure.
on? Right?
I mean,
like,
the guests now have nice chairs to come and sit down.
I know they have massage chairs and theater chairs.
But
and
when we started, we had those white chairs.
Yeah, we had white fold-out chairs. Brad's like, I don't care, but then he was like, maybe it's a good idea. Let's roll with this. So
yeah.
Anyway, let's get to how this whole thing came about, because maybe people might be out there wondering, how does an old retired cop with a gray beard and a couple of security guards, how do they come up with the ability to have everything they have and come up with a podcast? So here's the thing. Let's start it. So I never experienced, as you guys know, because we've done a whole bunch of other episodes, but we wanted to do a new one.
Yeah.
Kind of the first one to start everything off. You guys know that I had never experienced anything that could be considered quote unquote paranormal my entire life growing up. Right.
Right.
The only time I experienced it, and the first time I experienced it, is when
you started going towards that building and helping people out and stuff like that.
And where's the location where you guys
The
work?
Union Pacific.
Right?
Union Pacific building,
which is the reason why both of you are into this and involved right now, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so let me explain my experience. I know you guys know it. Let me explain it for everybody out there. So I've never thought anything about any of this stuff. I always thought it was stupid. I thought it was BS. I still kind of do, as you guys know. I still kind of do. I still kind of
You saw our Facebook Live.
Huh?
You saw our Facebook Live, and you were.
I know, but it doesn't. But that doesn't. All right, we'll get to that later. So let me tell you where this started for me. As you guys know, so we have a building in the area where you work, and it is called the Union Pacific Building. It's downtown Salt Lake, and this is where we'll throw some video up on what it looks like. And if you look at the building from the front, to the south of it, there is an attachment to the Union Pacific Building that we know it as the elevator lobby, right?
Yep.
Right.
The only thing that separates that from the Union Pacific Building are those two glass doors.
Right.
Now, when I was working there, about 5 o'clock or so, we locked up Union Pacific Building. Is that still the case?
We did it at 7, but yeah.
7? Okay, so it's 7.
Nobody does it, but still, yeah.
All right. So, but that's where that gets locked up. But we would usually lock up the elevator lobby a little bit later, correct?
Right, then yeah, I got it backwards. Yeah, the elevator lobby locked later. But
Yeah.
it's no longer in use anymore, the Grand Hall.
Oh,
or,
so there's
yeah,
nobody
it's always
in the elevator
locked.
lobby at all
It's
now?
always locked.
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay. All right. Anyway, so at the time, we had it was a 3 stories. Basically, there was the main level that was part of the Union Pacific Building.
Yep.
The second level, which was can't even remember what was
The-
this.
Some
the-
kind of office space.
They're like
Yeah,
they're like office spaces or something like that.
And then
yeah.
the third level was
Same thing.
Ragnar, though.
Which is the same thing. They're office
Yeah,
spaces.
it's an office space as well. So one day when I was working, I was a lieutenant there, which is why you'll hear Rod and you'll hear Zeke refer to me as LT. I was a lieutenant when I worked for the Highway Patrol, so people just call me LTG. So whatever, that's the reason LTG. So, but I went in there because we were short people. Big surprise, right? As you guys know.
Wow.
Not enough
You know what's
people.
funny?
Yeah.
The other day when I was going through the folders on the computer, just real quick, I found an old rotation with your name in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go, man. My name on the rotation showing that I'm actually out there working. See, so I'm not lying. I actually did shit. So
I mean,
anyway, so I went in there because we didn't have enough people. So I was like, all right, I'll lock up the elevator lobby.
yeah.
So I walk in, lock the main doors, walk in. Now, a lot of guys would take the elevator. They would go to the second floor on the elevator, and then they would lock the elevator on the second floor. Well, up to this time, I had to like drag 2 or 3 people out of that elevator because it got stuck between floors. And I was like, I am not going to get stuck between floors because these fools are going to leave me. They're going to just be like, no, we're not going to come get you, LT, whatever, just to be jerks. So I used to take the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So you go in, elevators to the left, stairs to go up, and then you had stairs that go down into the kind of the underground area beneath the Union Pacific Building, as you guys know. It goes back to the circuit breakers where you can click the lights off for the Union Pacific Building, right?
Right.
So I checked that door that goes down to the breakers. It's locked. So I unlock the door that goes into the stairwell. I start walking in, and I start hearing little kids laughing and feet running around. And kids laughing, little giggling, like giggling all around. And I was like, damn it, man. Somebody has their kids on the second floor. So I walk up to the second floor. I get out on the second floor. Walk around. Offices are already locked. There's not anybody on the second floor. So I call the elevator up. The elevator comes up. I step in the elevator. I lock it onto the second floor. And the reason we locked on the second floor, obviously, is so that if anybody happens to break into the building, they won't be able to get on the elevator and access any of the floors because the elevator's locked on the second floor. So we would lock it on the second floor. So I locked on the second floor. And I kind of looked around and went, well, if I heard the kids, then they have to be somewhere in here. So they're probably on the third floor.
Yeah.
So I then walked into the stairwell again to walk up to the third floor. I walk in. and I hear little kids laughing again, and I hear footsteps. And I'm still not freaked out. You know, I'm just going, all right, it's kids in the Ragnarok, blah, 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 whatever. So I go up there, get out, I check both bathrooms on that third floor, you know. Nobody's in there, lock those. And then I walk to the office building where the Ragnarok, thinking, all right, I'm going to find the kids and parents in here.
Yeah.
There's not a person up there. There's nobody there. No one. Right? No one. So I'm still not overly concerned because I've never experienced anything like this, right?
And keep in mind, he's deaf, so he was definitely
hearing. I am deaf in my left ear, guys.
Yeah.
And that's a story for a different day, but that's because of Brad.
The way you said it.
But it's a story from a different day. But thanks, Zeke, for pointing out the fact that I'm old and deaf.
Yeah, so he's deaf. So if he's hearing it, there's something going on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like seriously. So then I walk back into the stairwell and I start walking down the stairs and I hear the laughing again and I hear the footsteps. So I go, all right. I hear the laughing. It's got to be coming from the Hall of Breakfast. So there was this museum. For those of you out there, there's a museum that was to the south of us, but it was attached to the building where I'm talking about.
It wasn't a restaurant?
No, it was a museum. It was this little Hall of Breakfast museum.
Huh.
Yeah, it used to be a museum.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I thought it was a restaurant.
No, it was interesting. It was cool. I mean, actually,
You're thinking 7 or the Typhoon, which
Probably.
is also west, but
Probably,
it's
yeah,
northwest.
because my ex-girlfriend at the time, she told me that used to be a restaurant. I was like, what?
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. Typhoon is to the west.
Yeah,
of it.
Typhoon
This
is right
to
there.
the
Yeah,
south.
yeah.
Attached to the south. So
They're literally across from each other.
yeah, so I started thinking, well, there have to be kids in the Hall of Breakfast. That's where this laughing and giggling footsteps are coming from.
Yeah.
So I put my good ear to the wall, my right ear. I put to the wall, and I'm trying to hear to see if I can hear the kids. And literally, I hear it all around me. It was the weirdest thing. I can't even describe it, but it was all around me in the stairwell, laughing and giggling and footsteps running. And then I just kind of went, whatever. I'll walk over to the Hall of Breakfast and I'll look in there. So I walk downstairs. I get out, lock everything up, go into the Hall of Breakfast. There's not a soul in sight. Nobody's in there. It's been closed for hours. And so now all I'm really doing, I'm not freaked out or anything. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking the whole way as I'm walking back to the control room. Now, before you guys got there, control room used to be in a different area. Do you know where the old control room was? Anybody ever told you where it was?
Where all the lights are? Like we turn off the lights?
So it was way over there,
Like
right?
that northeast corner?
Yeah. So I started walking over there, and I'm just kind of thinking the whole time. And I go in and I sit down in the control room, and a couple of the people that were working there, I just kind of sit down, and I'm literally just sitting, just thinking, like, trying to make sense of what just happened, right? Just thinking, because nothing's ever happened to me, as I explained. And so I started thinking, and everybody's like, one of the guys that was working looked at me and he goes, "Hey, what's up, LT?" And I go, "Nah, nothing. No, something's up, man. You're usually talkative. What's going on?" It's like, well, all right, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want you guys to like say the old man has lost it, because I know I'm old. I know I'm old. I know I'm a decrepit piece of crap. I understand that.
You're not senile yet.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking maybe they're thinking that, right? So then there were like 5 people sitting in the control room, and I told them what happened.
Yeah.
And they literally all looked at me with straight faces. Nobody laughed. Nobody like, "You're an idiot, dude." Like, "Oh, listen to LT being an idiot. Look at this." They all looked at me and they were like, "Yeah, no shit. That happens all the time."
Yeah.
And I went, "What? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute." I said, "Wait a minute. What?"
Yeah, that's basically how it
I
goes.
said,
Yeah, pretty
I went,
much.
"Whoa, hold on." I said, I started with the first person on my right, and I said, "You've had something weird happen to you in this place?" They go, "Oh yeah," and they proceeded to tell me. And I was like, bullshit. That, no, you didn't. No, you did. No, I did. I was like, "What about you?" And then they told me. And then you. And they told me. And then you. And then you. And I went around the room to all 5 of them, and I just went, what in the holy shit's going on here?
And you know what's funny? Now when new people start working with us, I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, that building, haunted."
I don't say anything. I just wait. I wait for them to come to me and
okay,
go.
that's even better. Okay, so now let me get to how this whole thing came about and where we are today with what we started with
Yeah.
this. So I had told that to everybody sitting there. And some of the guys were, I mean, they were all like, yeah, no, dude, it all happened. And I started thinking about it. Went, man, that's kind of crazy. And then one of them went into that same building as he was training somebody. He goes into the building and he's trying to find the proper key.
Wow, he was actually training somebody?
We don't need to go there. We don't need to go there. We're above that. Look where we are.
Yeah.
So he goes into the building because he's training somebody, and he gets the wrong key, and he's trying to put it into the stairwell door, and it's the wrong key. And as soon as he puts it in the wrong key in, he hears a little girl start giggling.
Oh no, dude!
Now
I would have been out.
Now he was training a brand new guy who knew nothing about the history of this place and my story that I told them. This new guy knew nothing. He was standing there behind him, and as he tries to open it, puts in the wrong key, little girl laughing. And he's like, and he turned around, looked at the new guy looked at him and goes, I heard that, and we're out of here. And they turned around and walked out. Now, he didn't turn around and look at the new guy and say, did you hear a little girl laugh? Did you hear that? He didn't say anything. He just turned around and looked at him, and the new guy looked at him and goes, I heard it, we're out. And they left. So now I hear this story from these guys. Now, the new guy that was being trained, skeptic like me. Mm-hmm. Skeptic like me. And he tells me the story. So I start to go, maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
Not just maybe there's something to what we can do with a podcast here, but I'm saying maybe there's something to the fact that there's something going on in this particular building with what is being, with the laughter that's going on, the things I heard, the things other people have experienced. And then that's where it kind of started hitting me. And I said, well, wait a minute. Security guards, like all these paranormal shows on TV, right? Every once in a while, you'll see a story about a security guard that has experienced something, right? They'll have something they've experienced, but it's just kind of an afterthought. It's just one of those things that, oh yeah, they talked to a security guard this one time. But I started thinking, well, wait a minute, security guards they work at night, right? In places typically, and they typically kind of work in these spooky places, like, Union Pacific building's an old damn building. It's kind of spooky in and of itself.
Well, especially at the gateway, we have the different shifts.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's mainly swing shifts, so the 3 to 11, and then the grave shift 11 to 7 is what's experiencing.
Yes, when nobody's there. Right?
I actually went to work. I went to work overtime on graves, so I can actually go in there, see if anything happens around that certain time.
Right, the witching hour.
Yeah. But anyways, continue with your story.
So I started thinking about that, and I said, man, why don't we do a podcast where we bring on and we talk about like these, not only not just security or law enforcement or park rangers or corrections or anybody in that realm, that we talk about just their stories and we kind of dissect them and break them down. Why don't we have something like that to give them a forum to come on and feel comfortable telling their stories?
Yeah.
But also we could talk about all this other stuff as well, but from this standpoint of me being a skeptic, because the majority of the shows I see, everybody's this believer. They're these staunch, hardcore kind of believers, where I think we have kind of a nice dichotomy here where, yes, I'm a skeptic. Now, when people hear skeptic, I was watching Rogan's show, one of the repeats the other day, and he was saying, well, if somebody says they're a skeptic, it just means they go, I don't believe. And I was like, come on, Joe. Like, I love Rogan, right? But I was like, come on, Joe. No, that's not what I am as a skeptic. Me as a skeptic, I say, I'm more inclined not to believe until you can show me some proof to make me believe.
There's got to be a logical explanation.
Yeah, that's me. I think there's a logical explanation. And until you can show me actual proof, then I'm going to still be a skeptic. But if you can show me actual proof, but here's the thing, right? With the elevator lobby, and we'll get into this in the next episode. We'll talk about what you guys have dealt with and everything that has come of it. But things start to build up with certain things to where I go, even though I'm a skeptic, I start looking at it saying, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on this place, on this one place. Now, I think it's possible that this stuff happens. It's possible. It's possible you have hauntings. It's possible you have ghosts.
But it's not everything you hear.
But it's not everything you hear, right? And you guys know where I'm coming from with that. Where I look at it and I say, look, there's a logical explanation for probably, my opinion, 95% of it. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, we'll talk about some other stuff later too. But as you guys know, I will go into it later. But do you guys want to add anything to this whole thing and how we came about with this whole podcast?
Well, just like you guys, just like you were commenting about it, like telling this guy, "Oh, we should make a podcast." Well, that certain person came to me and he was like, "Hey, dude, we're making a podcast about this and this and this. Would you be interested in participating?" I was like, "Okay, cool." At the time, I was like, I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be anything. It's gonna be chintzy.
He started explaining. That person started explaining to me everything, right? Just like that person explained to him, and I was like,
it wasn't a good pitch.
Yeah, I was like,
doesn't sound like it's worth your time, right?
I was like, whatever, dude. I was like, whatever gets me out of the fucking house,
right? But
then I get here. I start talking to you. You actually explain things to me. Brad comes in and explains things to us, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in. So then I go to him, and I'm like, dude, this is how it works. It goes this, and this, and this, and this. And he's like, I'm in. And then that one person starts missing, not coming into, you know, recordings, We were only recording, one day out of the whole week?
One day out of the week, and we were maybe doing 1 or 2 episodes at the time.
We didn't even do 2 episodes. It was only one. And that person didn't want to do anything and stuff like that. So,
but let's get to where we are now, though, right?
Yeah.
Now.
So that's where I'm going to.
Right. Go ahead.
So then we just kind of started doing it on our own, you and I. And then I was like, hey, I can bring this person in. You were like, bring it in. And here he is.
Yeah, here he is. Now, and as we all sat here and we came in here today, look, we've been off. For those in Facebook Live that are watching right now, we've been off for a couple of weeks, and it is my fault. It has. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but
he was sick.
Yeah,
just for you guys to know,
some stuff that was going on. But
he was pretty sick, and we decided it was better for him to take a break for a while. We don't want him to risk his life.
I'm old, man.
It's not worth it.
I'm old. What do we say?
So
right?
that's why me and Zeke talked about it, and we're like, you know what? Let's let him rest, and when he's ready, he'll be ready. Yeah. Although I was still bothering LT or the text message.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, it makes me feel good to know that you guys are thinking about and you care about and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
But here's the exciting stuff where we are, man. We were gone for 2 weeks, and we come back, and we came in today, and we talked to Brad. We have a new soundboard. We have a new camera.
Yeah.
We have theater chairs in here that we're going to be kind of moving and rearranging the studio so that everybody can see everything.
Are coming.
I mean, it's like, and it's like, dude, look. And as Brad said, the impetus was because of what? Because of what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, also, there's one more surprise. Zeke, I talked to Zeke about this already. He already knows what it is. I'm actually going to get some photos of it today, later in the afternoon. I'm going to show them to Zeke. But have a surprise coming for us. It's something we've already talked about. And, yeah.
Don't say it's from Mexico.
So I was talking about it. I was like, it's coming from Mexico. And they're like, whoa. I was like, no, it's not that.
Yeah, like, we're going to be going to prison.
Yeah. But it's a big surprise, and you're going to like it. You're going to like it. I hope so.
All right. Well, hey, I think we kind of explained everything up to the point to where we are now and how we came about with this. Man, so go ahead, Rod. Get us out of here.
Once again, thank you for having me. Glad to be back in here with you. Glad to see that you're doing well.
Thanks, man.
Zeke, thank you for coming.
Always. I always come back.
Follow us on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, and I believe Twitch as PSS After Hours. You can follow us. You can like our TikTok videos. I uploaded a new one last night, like around 2, 3 a.m.
All right.
So make sure to follow us on all our social media. Where can they send us mail to?
paranormalafterhours@gmail.com. You have any stories you want to yell at me and say that I'm an idiot for believing what I believe, or if Rod's just the best looking person you've ever seen in your life,
Thank you.
or if Zeke happens to be even better looking than Rod, by all means, go ahead and add anything. Rod, Zeke, you want to say anything to everybody? Just sign off.
Well, we're definitely gonna sign off, and it's also not all about ghosts and paranormals. We've done a couple different episodes where we didn't even brush that topic, so it's definitely bounces. And if you guys think of anything you want, either shoot us an email or even drop it in the comments, and we can review it.
Yeah.
And hey, remember also when you see this on YouTube, remember share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave some comments for us. Hey, this is LTG signing off for PSS After Hours. Couple of things I'm always going to be saying: be safe, watch your six, keep your powder dry, and always remember, Rod,
things are going to get a little weird.
They're going to get a little weird, folks. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
We're out.